steroids. But I feel with my friend SunilGavaskar's presence here, I am on steroids. It is such an honor, such a pleasure to have you. I call him Sunny Bhai. Sunny Bhai happens to be a dear, dear family friend. My cousin actually, Peter Hassan, has known Sunny Bhai for the last 50 years. And so the family goes back from when he actually was just starting his debut, hitting those tons here against West Indies. We've known, the family has known him.
But this is always a problem when, you know, I follow somebody who is 6 feet tall. And this has got to be brought up. Good evening, everybody. Your Excellencies, Lutfi Bhai, all my friends who have gathered here. I just want to say I'm privileged that we're here this evening. Guyana is a place, it's a country which is very close to my heart. This is where I got my first Test century. And so it gave me a start in international cricket. And it is something that every youngster, when you come, you want to get a start in your profession, in your cricketing career. And this is what Guyana gave me. The Guyana pitch was, without question, one of the best batting pitches. The one in Boda is probably one of the best batting pitches ever in the world. Unfortunately, for batters, the ground now is different. It's at the Providence. But at the Boda, if I might just pat my own back, I had 3 innings, out of which 2 innings were century innings, and 1 was an unbeaten half century. So if you're looking at averages, I think it is probably over 300. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about, you know, the friendship that has always been there between the Indian people and the Guyanese people. There has been a connection which has been there for centuries, and you know, we see that connection every time we come down to the Caribbean islands, and Guyana gives us a very, very special welcome. So it's always fantastic to be able to do that. I remember when I came here for the 1983 Test series, I hadn't got runs in the first 2 Test matches. I'd got starts, I'd got 18, 20, 30, but I hadn't got a century, which in my earlier 2 tours, I got a century in pretty much in my second appearance. But here, after 2 Test matches, there wasn't a century against my name. And so, on the morning of the game here in Guyana, it's my wife, I'm just she's telling me to keep it sharp. So I was standing in the line for the introduction when the president came to be introduced to one of the teams. And the president comes to me and he says to me, "Man, what's happened to you? You haven't got any centuries as yet." And I said, "Your Excellency, I'm only being a very good guest." He said, "What do you mean, being a very good guest?" I said, "I'm not overstaying my welcome at the crease." So he said, "Nothing doing. In Guyana, you will overstay your welcome at the crease. I'll tell you what, if you do not get a century, I will make sure you don't leave Guyana." So that was something which meant that I had to score 100. I did get 100, and I got a message from him saying, "Thank you for doing that." He was at the ground, and he said, "Thank you very much for doing that. I had come specially to watch you back." So this is the kind of following that cricket has in Guyana. Everybody follows, just about everybody follows the game here. And so therefore, you know, it's a crowd which is a very knowledgeable crowd. They know their cricket. They know, when players are doing well, when they're not trying hard maybe. And it's always been a real pleasure to be playing here in Guyana. The West Indies has always been a terrific place to come because the people are so friendly. The whole atmosphere, the whole the crowd, etc., is so involved in the game with a great sense of humor. Just before that century here in Guyana, we had played a test match in Trinidad, and when we went into bat, there was a gentleman in the crowd, and it used to be a full house, and the gentleman in the crowd turned around and said to his other friends, he basically saying, my man, meaning me, my man, he's going to score more runs than both your openers put together. He was telling the West Indian supporters that he's going to score more runs than both his openers put together. I got out in the third over for 1. So by the afternoon, he had paid off everybody who had bet. He paid all the money, and the Indian team was dismissed just after tea on that day, and the West Indian openers came into bat, and Kapil Dev, our captain then, got Gordon Greenwich out for a duck, caught behind, and from the other end, Balwinder Sandhu clean bowled Desmond Haynes for a duck. So basically, he won the bet. He won the bet. He had won the bet. So he said, "Oh, come on, give me my money, give me my money." But of course, nobody was going to give him his money. But that's the kind of following that the game has. And there are so many stories about the game that you hear. And I thought this was also one of these stories that were made up. But a few years later, when I come to deliver the Sunny Ramadin lecture here, the vote of thanks was given by a gentleman called Fazir Muhammad, who was a journalist and also now a television commentator. And while he was giving the vote of thanks, I mentioned this story then as well. While giving the vote of thanks, he said, Sunny mentioned this story, and this story is absolutely true, because the person who had laid the bet and lost the money was my father. So there you are. So very nice to be here. Thank you, Lutfi Bhai, for this wonderful reception. Thank you all for coming here and making this evening such a special evening for me. Long live Indo-Guyanese friendship, long live Indo-Guyanese cooperation, excepting of course on the field of cricket. That's where I think we need to keep that aside. Tomorrow is going to be, I think, an exciting game between two really well-matched sides. England, the defending champions, who put it across India in the semi-finals the last time around, and this time again it's a semi-final. So this is India's chance to maybe put it across across England. But whatever happens, I just hope, as a cricket fan, that it finishes off the last ball of the 40th over. So that will be a real thriller. That's what we are all hoping for. Thank you once again for this wonderful reception. And thank you for being here. Thank you very much. Just like if you say for America, I want to be able to also. Okay, so like you can say for you to be here, very good.
आज एक अनोखं फंक्शन अटेंड करून मी आलेलो आहे. सुनील गावस्कर सरांचा आज गयानामध्ये सत्कार झालाय. सर, हे वेस्ट इंडिज बद्दल तुम्ही काय सांगाल? काय नातं आहे तुमचं? काय लोक प्रेम करतात हो सर तुमच्यावर?
हे तर एक ब्लेसिंगच आहे ना.
देवाचं ब्लेसिंग आहे. त्यामुळेच हे जे प्रेम मिळतं आहे गायनाच्या लोकांकडनं किंवा भारतीय लोकांकडनं सगळीकडनं, ते एक देवाची ब्लेसिंग आहे. आणि त्याबद्दल मी मनपूर्वक देवाचा आभारी आहे, सगळ्यांचा आभारी की ते त्यांनी जे माझ्यावर ते एक प्रेम केलं आहे, त्याबद्दल मी भयंकर आभारी आहे.
कारण सर 50 वर्ष झाली तुम्ही पहिलं शतक इथं केलेलं होतं आणि 50 वर्ष म्हणजे या प्रेमालाही हाफ सेंचुरी झालेली आहे.
हो, त्याच्यासाठी परत मी काय बोलू, फक्त की देवाचे आभार मानतो, भगवानचे आभार मानतो की त्यांनी मला हे सगळं दिलं आहे. आज मी जो आहे ते देवाच्यामुळेच आहे. आणि
सर शेवटचा प्रश्न, म्हणून वेस्ट इंडिजला यायला आवडतं?
हा, कारण वेस्ट इंडिजमध्ये क्रिकेट बघायची एक निराळीच ओढ आहे. वेस्ट इंडिजचे जे क्रिकेट चाहते आहेत त्यांचा एक विनोदी स्वभाव, ते त्यांच्याकडे त्या म्युझिकमध्ये त्यांना जेवढा रस आहे, आनंद आहे, तो त्यांचं म्युझिक ऐकायला पण बहुत म्हणजे एकदम बरं वाटतं. आणि त्याबरोबर चांगलं क्रिकेट पण बघायला मिळालं तर म्हटलं दुधात साखर यासारखं आहे.
सर थँक्यू सो मच, खूप आनंद झाला आजचा कार्यक्रम अटेंड करून.